Opportunity of trouble. The tests of life are to make, not break us. Trouble may demolish a man's business, but build up his character. The blow at the outward man may be the greatest blessing to the inner man. If God then puts or permits anything hard in our lives, be sure that the real peril, the real trouble, is what we shall lose if we flinch or rebel. We live in a world that is obsessed with comfort. We are taught from a young age to seek the path of least resistance. We want the shortcut. We want the hack. We want the reward without the risk, and the glory without the grind. And so, when trouble comes, as it always does, our first instinct is to panic. Our first instinct is to look at the sky and ask, "Why me? What did I do to deserve this?" We view trouble as an intruder. We view it as a mistake in the universe, a glitch in the system of our happiness. But this perspective is the enemy of your growth. If you look at the history of humanity, if you look at the biography of every great soul who has ever walked this earth, you will find one common denominator. You will not find ease. You will not find constant comfort. You will find trouble. You will find massive, overwhelming, heartbreaking trouble. And you will find that it was exactly this trouble that carved them into greatness. The quote tells us that trouble is an opportunity. How can pain be an opportunity? How can loss be a gain? Because we are composed of two parts, the outward man and the inner man. The outward man is concerned with reputation, with bank accounts, with the clothes on your back and the car in your driveway. The outward man wants safety. But the inner man? The inner man is concerned with character, with fortitude, with faith, and with truth. Here is the hard reality. The outward man often has to be crushed so that the inner man can stand up. Think of the seed. As long as the seed remains whole, safe inside its hard shell, sitting comfortably on the shelf, it is dormant. It is asleep. It is safe, yes, but it is useless. It creates no life. For the potential inside that seed to be released, the shell must be broken. It must be buried in the dark dirt. It must be pressed by the weight of the earth. It must crack open. To the seed, this feels like destruction. To the seed, this feels like the end. But to the master gardener, this is not death. This is the beginning. You might be in a season right now where your shell is cracking. Maybe your business has been demolished, as the quote says. Maybe a relationship you thought would last forever has ended. Maybe your health is failing. Maybe you are facing a financial winter that chills you to the bone. You are tempted to think that your life is over. But I am here to tell you that you are not being buried. You are being planted. The blow at the outward man may be the greatest blessing to the inner man. When everything goes right, when the sun is always shining, we tend to fall asleep spiritually. We become soft. We rely on our own cleverness. We think we are the masters of our fate. But when the storm hits, when the waves crash over the bow of your ship and you realize you are not in control, that is when you wake up. That is when your roots go down deep. A tree that grows in a protected greenhouse looks beautiful. Its leaves are green, its bark is smooth, but it has no strength. If you take that greenhouse tree and put it on a mountainside, the first strong wind will tear it out by the roots. Why? Because it never had to fight. It never had trouble. But the tree that grows on the cliff edge, the tree that has been battered by the wind for 50 years, that tree has roots wrapped around the bedrock. That tree is unbreakable. You are being invited to become the tree on the cliff. The text warns us of the real peril. Please listen closely to this, because this is where most people fail. The danger is not the trouble itself. The trouble is neutral. The trouble is just the gymnasium where your character goes to work out. The real danger, the real peril, is what happens if you flinch. The real tragedy is what you lose if you rebel against the process. To flinch means to pull back. It means to quit right in the middle of the transformation. Imagine a piece of iron in the blacksmith's fire. It is red hot. It is being hammered. It is being shaped into a sword. It hurts. It is intense. If the iron could speak, it would beg to be taken out of the fire. But if the blacksmith pulls it out too soon, what happens? It is not a sword. It is just a lump of beat-up metal. It has suffered the pain of the fire, but missed the purpose of the design. Do not waste your suffering. If you are going through hell, do not stop there. Do not build a house in your pain and live there as a victim. Keep moving. Let the fire do its work. Let it burn away your ego. Let it burn away your pride. Let it burn away your dependency on the opinions of others. When the fire is done, what is left will be pure gold. If God puts or permits anything hard in our lives, this is a difficult concept for many. We want a God who only gives gifts, not tests. But a father who never tests his children, who never challenges them, who protects them from every single difficulty is not a loving father. He is a crippler. He is raising children who will be devoured by the world. Because God loves you, He will not allow you to remain weak. Because He sees the king or the queen inside of you, He will permit the circumstances necessary to drag that greatness to the surface. There is an old story of a sculptor chipping away at a massive block of stone. A child watches him, confused, and asks, "Why are you hitting the rock? You are destroying it." And the sculptor smiles and says, "I'm not destroying it. I am setting the lion free." The trouble in your life is the chisel. You are the stone. Every blow, every disappointment, every closed door, every dark night, that is the chisel striking the stone. It hurts. I know it hurts. It feels like you are losing pieces of yourself, and you are. But you are only losing the pieces that are not you. You are losing the fear. You are losing the doubt. You are losing the false identity. The danger is that you rebel. The danger is that you become bitter. Bitterness is the cancer of the soul. When trouble comes, you have two choices. You can become bitter or you can become better. You can let the trouble harden your heart, make you cynical, make you hate the world and everyone in it. That is the real peril. If you let trouble steal your hope, then the trouble has won. But there is another way. It is the way of the indomitable will. It is the way of the spiritual warrior. It is to look the trouble in the eye and say, I recognize you. You are not here to kill me. You are here to build me. This requires a massive shift in your mindset. It requires you to stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this trying to teach me? When you lose the job, do not flinch. Stand up and say, this is the push I needed to start my own path. When the relationship ends, do not rebel. Stand up and say, this is the clearing of space for something more aligned with my destiny. When the illness comes, do not collapse. Stand up and say, this is the challenge that will teach me to value every single breath. You must understand that character is the only thing you get to keep. When you leave this earth, you will not take the business with you. You will not take the house. You will not take the awards. You will take who you became. You will take the strength of your spirit. This is why the inner man is so much more important than the outward man. The outward man is temporary housing. The inner man is eternal. Why would you trade eternal gold for temporary comfort? We often look at people who have easy lives with envy. We scroll through social media and see the highlight reels, the vacations, the smiles, the seemingly perfect existence, and we think, I wish I had that. But be careful what you wish for. A life without friction is a life without traction. You cannot move forward on smooth ice. You need the roughness of the road to get grip. You need the resistance of the hill to build muscle. Those who have never known trouble are often fragile. They shatter at the first sign of a storm. But you have been forged in the fire. You have walked through the valley of the shadow of death, and you have feared no evil. You have scars, and scars are not ugly. Scars are proof. A scar says, I survived this. A scar says, I was wounded, but I did not die. A scar is a medal of honor on your soul. So do not flinch. Do not look for the exit door. Stand in the center of the ring. The opportunity of trouble is the opportunity to meet yourself. You do not know who you are until you are tested. You think you are patient, but you do not know until your patience is tested. You think you are brave, but you do not know until you feel the cold sweat of fear and have to act anyway. You think you have faith, but you do not know until your prayers seem to bounce off the ceiling and you have to keep praying anyway. This is the test, and the test is designed to make you. It is designed to make you compassionate. Have you ever noticed that the people who help others the most are usually the ones who have suffered the most? Because they know what it feels like to be broken, so they know how to help others rebuild. Your trouble today is your ministry tomorrow. Your pain today is your power tomorrow. If you are in the darkness right now, I want you to remember that darkness is not always the tomb. Sometimes it is the womb. Something new is trying to be born through you. But birth is painful. Birth is messy. Birth is a struggle. Do not abort the process because you are afraid of the pain. Push. Push through the doubt.
There is a version of you waiting on the other side of this trouble. A version of you that is wiser, stronger, more humble, and more powerful than you can imagine. The outward man may be bruised. The outward man may be tired. But let the inner man rejoice. Let the inner man shout, I am still here. I am still standing. Do not rebel against the hand of God that is shaping you. Trust the architect. He knows the weight you can carry. He knows the structure he is building. He is not building a shack. He is building a fortress. And fortresses require deep foundations. The digging of the foundation is dirty work. It is low work. But the deeper the dig, the higher the tower. So welcome the trouble. I know that sounds insane to the world, but you are not of the world. You are of the Spirit. Welcome the trouble as a teacher. Sit at its feet and learn the lesson. Let it strip away everything that is false so that only what is true remains. You will look back on this season one day. I promise you this. You will look back on the nights you cried yourself to sleep, on the days you didn't think you could make it, and you will not see them as days of horror. You will see them as the most important days of your life. You will see them as the days you became who you were meant to be. The trouble is temporary. The character it builds is forever. Do not flinch. Do not rebel. Stand firm. Your blessing is not in the absence of the storm. Your blessing is in the strength you find while walking through it.